I'm done. I don't owe nothing, nobody, I'm done. If I strike a nerve, I'm all tiny, I'm done. They ain't got no purpose when they move, I'm done. They be getting nervous from the truth, I'm done.
In this video, I'm going to be showing you my process to work a 2-hour workday. When I first started our furniture store, we ran a furniture store, we grew it to 250K a month, and we basically started building a team, and then eventually I was only working 2 hours a day, and it was pretty cool because I was only working on the things that I absolutely loved, okay? And so in this video, I want to show you my exact process on how I do this and what I do when we teach our clients how to do this as well. If you're new to the channel, my name is Matthew. I run a company called thebusinessbuilders.com. We build around 5 businesses, around 60 businesses a year, 5 businesses a month. And this video is going to show you exactly how we show our clients to basically allow the business to run itself. Now, I personally don't work 2 hours a day anymore. There was a phase where when we were running our e-com brand, I was like going to my parents' house, chilling by the beach, spending time with them, spending time with my kids, doing things that I personally felt was really enjoyable. And we basically created teams to basically allow me to work 2 hours a day. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that now. Okay, so the first thing is this is my thought process behind it before I even think about hiring people. Okay, so the first thing that you need to identify is the task that I'm completing time consuming? Now, you don't want to hire someone, okay, to reduce your workload if it's not even time consuming, okay? The next thing is, do you have understanding of it? We have so many people that come to us and they come and they're like, I want to buy this business and tomorrow I'm going to hire someone to run it. That's not going to work. If you're completely new to business, you need to learn what they're doing before they actually do it, because they might be saying, yeah, I've done it, it's all done, it's all good, boss, but in reality, they're not actually doing anything at all, and we've had that happen, to our clients because they've outsourced way too early. So my recommendation is always start with understanding. The next thing is, can it work without me, okay? So you want to make sure that you're thinking about whether this staff member is going to be annoying you all day, all right? When I hired my first person, I didn't give them any logins, no standard operating procedures. And so I hired them only for them to ask me 1,000 questions every single hour. And I was like, I might as well fire you and just do it myself. It was really frustrating. And the reason behind that is because I didn't have the processes in place, okay? So if they constantly need your logins, make sure you've got that nice and organized and make sure they can actually work without you. The next thing that I didn't consider when I first hired my first person is automation. Can I automate the process? So for example, when it came to order processing, I initially hired someone for that role, only to realize that there was a Zapier automation that could immediately send the order directly to the supplier. And I was like, dumb, I shouldn't have hired anyone for that. So I eventually automated that and gave them another job to do. But you need to ask yourself that question, okay? Automation, all right? The next thing is, if you've ticked yes for all of these and no, you cannot automate it, then you want to proceed to the hire process, okay? So once you want to hire, I recommend going to onlinejobs.ph. Now, onlinejobs.ph is a platform. It's basically a marketplace for talent. So you can post a job on onlinejobs.ph, costs you like $100 to do it, and it'll allow people to apply for the job, okay? So before I've even done this though, or as I've just posted my first job, you can just get ChatGPT to put a description for you. My recommended salary for people in the Philippines is around 30 to 50,000 PH, okay? That's how much we charge as well. So once I've done that, I'll then start proceeding to build out standard operating procedures. Now, I cannot stress how important this is, okay? If you don't have standard operating procedures, and I'll explain to you what that is in a minute, then they're gonna be basically asking you 1,000 questions. Now, what you wanna do is whatever's in your mind about this task, you wanna put into a process. So what you wanna do is you wanna create simple steps. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And then all those steps are going to contribute to them completing the task. So for example, we recently hired a video editor. Shout out to you, bro, appreciate you. And this video editor, we basically had expectations for what we want to do. And so what I did is I created a step 1 to 10 for every day of the things that I wanted them to do. So I wanted them to edit videos that look like this, and I showed an example. Long form videos, I wanted to look like this, we put an example, okay? So every single thing I wanted our video editor to do, our future video editor, I basically put them into steps and gave examples, okay? Even better, if you have the time and it's a visual thing, then create a Loom video. Loom is free for the first 5 videos. So you can just basically create videos on every single task, or written or both, okay? So That's the first thing. If you don't have standard operating procedures, people are gonna bug you like crazy, and it's gonna drive you crazy, and it's gonna basically just ruin the working relationship. Okay, so it's super important to have standard operating procedures before you hire. Okay, the next thing is freelancers. Now, a freelancer is someone you would find on Fiverr or Upwork, and they don't think like employees. They think more like a freelancer, which is, I'm gonna collect multiple jobs and I'm gonna do them simultaneously. Now, those are not the kind of people you want to achieve a 2-hour workday, okay? If you want to achieve a 2-hour workday, you need to hire people that are going to work full-time for you. So this is someone that thinks like an employee, wants to have a stable business that they work inside. They don't have the tolerance for risk. They don't want to be working on multiple projects. They want to do the same thing every day, nice and easy, just task after task. They want to be doing that role. Now, if you hire a freelancer, you're gonna pay them for 8 hours, and I've done this before. You're gonna pay them for 8 hours, they're gonna work 2 hours because they've got these other projects that they need to work on. So that's just the worst idea, okay? Don't hire freelancers. Even worse than a freelance is a solopreneur or an entrepreneur. Never hire a solo or an entrepreneur, okay? And the reason behind that is because they are going to steal everything inside of your business. They're not thinking like an employee. They're not thinking like, I wanna impress my boss. I wanna work hard. I wanna move up the ranks. I wanna, bring value to this company. They're thinking, I wanna create my own company and you're gonna help me. You're gonna be the one that gives me all the processes. I'm gonna steal your product. I'm gonna steal all your customer base. And you can tell I've got a little bit of experience in this. And so I've done that before, where we've actually hired entrepreneurial people because they've sold well, they've presented well, and I thought they'd be great for the role, only for them to steal all of our data, anything of our customers. So this is something that I've made that mistake. What you want to do is to find out exactly who's who. You want to hire employees. The way you're able to figure that out is saying, what are your goals for the next 5 years? If they say, I want to start my own business, that is an entrepreneur, run the other direction. If they say, I want to be an established company. I want to have job security. I want to move up the ranks. I want to bring impact on something. That is an employee. That is someone that you can hire to work inside your business. Okay. So far we've covered the 2-hour workday. We're going to identify whether the actual task is time consuming or just annoying. You want to make sure you understand the role. You want to make sure that you're working. You can create something that someone can work without you. Okay. You want to make sure you can't automate it. So now we've hired. Right, we've posted a job on onlinejobs.ph. We've created standard operating procedures. We're avoiding freelancers. We're avoiding solopreneurs. The next thing is the guitarist test. So let's say you go into onlinejobs.ph, okay, and 30 people have applied for the role. Okay, so let's talk about a video editor because we recently just hired one. All right, so we've got in those 30 applications. The next thing that I do is the guitarist test. Now, what this is let's say, for example, you have a band, you're the main singer, you're looking for a guitarist. I play guitar pretty bad. And so just imagine you're like to someone, hey, I want to hire a guitarist. Are you going to ask for their resume, or are you going to say, just play me a song, right? You're obviously going to say, play me a song. If they're so incredible at the guitar, you don't need to listen. You don't even care what their previous experience was. You didn't care if they've been hiding in the garage all day. The reality is if they can play the guitar good, they're going to be a good fit for the guitar role. So what I normally do is I will send them a raw video, for example, with the video editor, and I will pay them, a day's wage to edit the video. What this will allow me to do is will allow me to filter out people that are actually really talented and can follow instructions, and versus people that are just not even gonna, do the work. Okay, so I'll basically give them my SOPs, so I'll give them my video to edit, and then I'll send them the job and say, I'll pay you for a day's work to complete this. Now I'll find maybe 10 people with a good resume, and then I'll ask them to complete the guitarist test. Then from there, once they send me the results, what I personally found is that 5 out of 10 people don't even get the task done. So just imagine you hired one of those 5 people, they wouldn't even rocked up to their first day. So you've just saved yourself a week, you're welcome. But if you got that task, you sent it to them, okay? And then 5 of them got back to you with a really good video. What you're gonna find is that 3 of them are not good quality. So you got 10 people, 5 didn't even complete it, you got 5 left, 3 didn't even do a good job, you're gonna be settled with 2, okay? Then I would then start chatting with them, set up a call, see if we vibe, see if there's a good, dynamic between us, and I would hire that person, okay? So that's the way I hired the video editor. Now, what I would do moving forward, if you're looking at this like, whoa, Matthew, there's a lot of stuff. What I would do is just look at the thing that's taking the most amount of time of your day and start thinking about, is this time consuming? Do I fully understand the role? Can it work without me? Can I automate it? If not, then proceed to the decision to hire, go to online jobs, post your job, avoid freelancers, avoid solopreneurs, get some standard operating procedures, test some people, test out their work, and then you can proceed to hire. And that's my entire process on how I would go to hire people into our business to start working a 2-hour workday. By the way, if you're new to the channel, we've got a completely free course that I wanted to give you. I'm gonna show you exactly how I find winning products. So we basically test around 90 winning products to be able to build 3 to 5 e-com brands for people that are looking to transition out of the 9 to 5. We do this full time, so we're testing so many products, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I find unlimited winning products for our brands. I'm gonna show you the entire process completely free, exactly how we do it, full transparency, exactly how we do it at the Business Builders. So I wanna encourage you to click that link below, and I'll see you in the free course.